My name is Mid-Range Mar, and we are back with another video, and today we are going to be talking about no other than the Miami Heat. Now, I made a video on them earlier, and since then they have been winning. They have told me to shut my mouth, period. They are on a 4-game winning streak right now, and the thing is, I just wanted to talk about how well their drafting is. I just wanted to talk about how well the Miami Heat can draft and why they draft so good. And one of the reasons why they draft so good is because they're not afraid to draft from what spot they can. I mean, you see most of their draft picks, Bam Adebayo, Justice Winslow, even though he wasn't really a good outcast, he wasn't really a good result, but these draft picks, KZ Akapala, Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Herro, they're all in 14th to 15th range. I mean, they're not really bad draft picks, and they're not really good draft picks either. They're not really top 10 lottery picks, draft picks. You know what I mean? It's just crazy to think about how well they can draft without. And they're not scared to draft people they can go with. I mean, a lot of people, I remember saying, we should draft Darius Garland. I remember saying that. We had the 13th, and we drafted Tyler Herro. And this team just isn't afraid of doing what they want to do. They draft players that fit their culture, and that is it. And I've seen the New York Knicks do that a lot too, and that is why their draft picks haven't been bad either. Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, Isaiah Quickly, just a lot of players that can combine and do a lot of stuff as well. They haven't been bad as well drafting just recently. I don't want to talk about all the time, you know what I mean, but just recently, even Kristaps at the time was a very good pick, even though he didn't really work out because you had to trade him, but he was a really good player. And I just want to say that these Miami Heat, since 2015, they haven't missed a single draft. I mean, you have Josh Richardson, Justice Winslow. They both turned out to be solid picks. Josh Richardson, I'll let you know, was the 40th pick in a second round. Josh Richardson, yes, Josh Richardson was a 40th pick in the second round. And it's just crazy that Bam Adebayo, a future All-Star, basically, a future MVP of a team that led them to the NBA Finals. I mean, and by MVP, I mean an MVP to that team, certainly. I'm not saying Bam is an MVP. You already know. Bam Adebayo was one of the people who led his team to the finals in basically 3 years. 3 years. They gave him 3 years, and he's already an all-star pick. Tyler Herro, a bucket getter, and Precious isn't looking too bad, to say the least. And if you look back down, I mean, they have been drafting players, and it's not just that either. I mean, Kendrick Nunn wasn't even drafted by them, but he was picked up. KZ Akapala was picked up, and next reason is probably why I'm making this video is Max Strus. Max Strus is a dime of a player, and he can shoot the ball just like and let's not forget about Duncan Robinson, who was a D3 player coming in, and now he's a starter in a contending team, a reliable shooter. And yeah, I mean, this dude Duncan Robinson just came in and was a dime of a player, and now, I mean, he was a dime of a player, and that is another reason why their picks and why their prospect players are doing so well is their development. Duncan Robinson, I remember watching him as a Heat fan, and this dude was cheeks. This dude wasn't good. Even when he would get plays and stuff like that, he would miss his shot and stuff like that. But now, just 1 year working on his shot with the Heat and everything like that has him a bucket, and he is getting buckets consistently now. And sometimes he has off nights, but he's still a consistent starter and one of the streakiest three-point shooters, and not even the streakers, one of the best three-point shooters in the league right now. And who knows what would happen if the same thing happens for KZ Akapala and Max Strus. I just think the Heat are one of the most well-developed, development and drafting wise. The Heat have that shit patted down. And no other than Pat Riley can say that he can do that. Pat Riley is a hell of a man. And Max Strus, let's talk about Max Strus for him. He's 5'9" until his sophomore year in high school and originally preferred football over baseball. Come on, man. And he only had one Division I offer coming out of high school. He began his college career and spent 2 seasons at Division II level and was pretty good. He averaged 20.2 points per game, 8.4 rebounds, and 3.5 assists as a sophomore. And he even put up 52. That's his career high. And he chose DePaul over Butler, Louisville, Oregon, and Xavier. He went from there. He worked out for a ton of NBA teams before going undrafted. He went undrafted. He then signed a pro contract with the Boston Celtics, but lost that job because of no other than Taco Fall. His first NBA game was actually against the Miami Heat, and he suffered a devastating injury while on a G League stint, and he then joined the G League, obviously, and then he finally gained the respect of his teammates, and then got signed to the Miami Heat. So that is where you know him from. He signed this season, and he is doing things that, hey, he can shoot the ball, and sometimes he doesn't miss. Sometimes he just doesn't miss. And I think he has a lot of potential as well. And even KZ Akpala that scored, he put up 30-something in preseason. Kendrick Nunn, we've already known about him, even though he's looking a little rusty right now. Tyler Herro, just a whole bunch of players that Miami Heat has developed. And why they draft so good is because they're not afraid to draft. They work on and develop their players, and they have a culture to where they only let certain people in. And that is why you never see the Miami Heat players really fail often, as being drafted and even being undrafted and getting signed. That's why the Miami Heat are the Miami Heat. And that's why my name is Mid-Range Mar. And that's why I talk about basketball. And I'm going to stop saying why. My name is Mid-Range Mar. And if you want more of these videos, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.